Our now 23-year-old son first and last encounter with this church's building was at a middle school presbytery retreat in early 2011. The Moberly Church sent 5 youth and 2 adults, one of whom was our rookie Christian education director. I stayed home so my son could make his own way and so I could sleep. At 10:45 p.m., a drunk college student tried to escape a police stop by speeding down Cherry Street, which ends at the church. As police pursued, he tried to escape through the church ahead, using his car. The wall of glass stopped his first ramming attempt, so he backed up and then revved and raced again, shattering glass. He drove through the Welcome Center, through the next glass doors, and into the not yet named Ramsey Center, where the 40 youth were gathered. His car was stopped by a wall. He was detained by police. The mid-high youth had just divided into 3 groups before eating snacks in the back of the room. Upon hearing the first crash and seeing the flashing lights, Nathan C. sent most of the kids up the back stairwell. The others in the room saw the car racing toward them, and no one was physically harmed. When I was awakened with the words on the phone, "Wally, there's been an incident here," I realized I'd be awake all night after all. Sleepless young questions that are still being asked by adults include, do we blame God for the choices that kid made? Do we thank God that no one was hurt? Do we assume that all white college boys are drunken, reckless church wreckers because of our experience with this guy? How do we stop being afraid? How do we hold people accountable for the consequences of their actions without the cycle of hate and vengeance? Days after the incident, I came across the schedule for the Presbytery lock-in somewhere in the prevalent pile of papers on my church desk. Our initial reaction to shock is heart, body, or head, feeling, doing, or thinking. Sharing the schedule with my family, my heart sank. Nancy had a gut punch, and our son couldn't decipher the fact that according to the schedule, the youth were supposed to be watching a movie while lying on the very floor the car drove over at 10:45. The division into 3 groups and snack was scheduled on paper to be at 10:15, with the movie starting at 10:30. 40 bodies lying on the floor would probably have different results under a car than standing in the back near the kitchen and exit. All praise and thanks to God that this lock-in followed the 2 rules of all lock-ins. Number 1, always make a schedule. Number 2, never stick to it. How have you been affected by the actions of someone else? How are you still being affected? What ways have you found help from God and others to move forward? The church now has barriers set up to prevent another drive-through. What barriers still remain for you?